You've been told your whole life that success means working harder, grinding longer, and chasing every opportunity that promises a bigger paycheck. But what if I told you that the very act of chasing money is what's keeping it away from you? What if wealth isn't something you pursue, but something you align with? This is the secret law of effortless wealth, and once you understand it, your entire relationship with money will change forever. This isn't about luck, hustle, or chance. It's about energy, awareness, and alignment. And today, you'll discover the secret that the wealthiest, most fulfilled people on earth understand deeply: that wealth flows to those who are in harmony with it, not those who chase it. Chapter 1. The Illusion of the Chase. From an early age, we're told a story that sounds noble and true. If you work hard, you'll be rewarded. It's woven into the foundation of our education, our jobs, and our cultural identity. No pain, no gain. The early bird gets the worm. You have to hustle to make it. These sayings have become mantras of a society built on effort and striving. We grow up believing that success is something we must chase, something always slightly out of reach, something we have to earn with sweat, struggle, and sacrifice. But what if this idea is not just incomplete, but actually misleading? What if the chase itself is the very thing that keeps us from the wealth we desire? You see, chasing money is not the same as attracting wealth. Chasing implies separation. It means the thing you want is out there somewhere beyond your grasp. It means you're running after it, often with anxiety, impatience, and fear that you might never catch it. And here's the hidden trap. The energy of the chase tells the universe, your subconscious and your own emotions, one simple truth: that you don't have it yet. You're broadcasting lack. You're affirming that wealth is missing. And what you focus on expands. So instead of drawing wealth closer, you push it further away. Think about this in simple terms. Imagine two people walking down a street. One is calm, centered, smiling, and radiating confidence. The other is frantic, looking around desperately for something they've lost. Which of the two do you think naturally attracts attention, opportunities, and positive interactions? The calm person exudes a frequency of completeness. People are drawn to that. The frantic person sends out a vibration of scarcity and chaos. People instinctively withdraw. The same principle applies to money and opportunities. When you chase, you radiate scarcity. When you align, you radiate abundance. Most of us are not aware of how often we operate in chase mode. It's hidden in the way we think and act daily. We chase promotions, we chase validation, we chase clients, we chase time, and most of all, we chase the idea of enough money, enough success, enough status. But enough never arrives because the chase never ends. The more we run after it, the more it runs from us. The more we seek, the more we affirm that we do not yet have. The illusion of the chase is seductive because it feels productive. When we're busy, we feel valuable. When we're grinding, we feel like we're moving forward. But busyness and progress are not the same thing. Activity without alignment is just noise. You can run fast in circles and end up nowhere closer to what you want. The truth is that wealth is not created through effort alone. It's created through energy, intention, and clarity. The universe responds not to how much you do, but to how you feel while you do it. Let's pause here for a moment and look at this energetically. Every thought, emotion, and action emits a vibration, a frequency that interacts with the field around you. When you think, "I need more money," you're sending out the vibration of "I don't have enough." That vibration pulls in experiences that confirm your belief. Suddenly, you notice more bills, more scarcity, more evidence that you're lacking. The mind says, "See, I told you so." It becomes a self-reinforcing loop. On the other hand, when you think, I'm already abundant, and more is flowing to me. You shift your vibration. You become relaxed, open, receptive, and wealth naturally gravitates toward you. This is not mystical. It's energetic psychology in action. You cannot receive abundance while being consumed by the energy of lack. The chase also creates emotional burnout. Constantly pursuing wealth drains your vitality because you're always operating from the mindset of not enough yet. You're always one goal away, one paycheck away, one opportunity away from happiness. You postpone your peace until later, but later never comes. You end up living your life as a series of almosts, almost there, almost enough, almost happy. And each time you reach what you thought was the finish line, you move the goalpost again. This is the invisible prison of the chase, the endless loop of striving that never allows contentment in the present moment. Here's the paradox. When you finally stop chasing, when you stop grasping and pushing and trying to force wealth into your life, that's when it starts to appear. Because letting go creates space for receiving. Think of your hands. If they are tightly clenched around the idea of getting more, there's no room for anything new to enter. But when you open them, when you release the tension and trust, you become available. The universe responds to openness, not desperation. You might be wondering, does this mean I shouldn't work hard? Absolutely not. This is not about abandoning effort. It's about transforming the energy behind it. There's a vast difference between inspired action and desperate action. Desperate action says, I must do this or else I'll fail. Inspired action says, I choose to do this because it feels aligned and exciting. One drains energy, the other multiplies it. One is rooted in fear, the other in flow. The law of effortless wealth doesn't mean sitting still and hoping for miracles. It means acting from alignment, not anxiety. When you're in alignment, you begin to notice synchronicities, doors opening, people showing up, opportunities appearing without struggle. It feels almost magical, but it's not magic, it's resonance. The right circumstances find you because your inner energy matches them. This is why some people seem to get lucky over and over again. It's not luck, it's vibration. They've stopped chasing and started aligning. To move out of the chase, you must first become aware of your mental and emotional habits. Listen to your self-talk. When you think about money, do you feel tension, fear, or worry? Or do you feel gratitude and trust? Your emotional state is your compass. If thinking about wealth creates anxiety, that's a sign that your energy is misaligned with it. The key is not to suppress the fear, but to transform it. Start by acknowledging that the fear comes from a false belief, that wealth is scarce or difficult to obtain. Replace it with a new belief that wealth is natural, that abundance is your birthright, and that life supports those who align with trust and purpose. The chase also thrives on comparison. We look around at others, on social media, in our neighborhoods, at work, and measure ourselves against their apparent success. The more we compare, the more we feel behind, and the more behind we feel, the more we chase. It becomes an endless cycle of striving to catch up with an illusion. The truth is, you can't receive your unique form of wealth while fixating on someone else's. Abundance is personal. It reflects who you are, not who you think you should be. When you stop comparing, you reclaim your power. You stop running someone else's race and start walking your own path with confidence. Another layer of the illusion is the belief that struggle is noble, that suffering somehow makes success more meaningful. Many of us have been conditioned to equate difficulty with worth. If it's easy, we think it's not valuable. But this belief keeps us trapped in unnecessary hardship. True mastery is not about making things hard. It's about making them flow. The most successful people in the world don't glorify struggle. they master ease. They understand that when something flows naturally, it's a sign of alignment, not laziness. Ease is not the absence of effort, it's the presence of harmony. Let's visualize for a moment. Imagine yourself standing in a river. When you fight the current, you exhaust yourself. You kick, you push, you strain, but you make little progress. When you let go and move with the current, you glide effortlessly downstream. That's what happens when you stop chasing wealth and start flowing with it. You stop resisting the natural rhythm of abundance. You begin to trust the timing, the process, and your own inner guidance. You move with life, not against it. This shift doesn't happen overnight. The chase has been ingrained in most of us since childhood, so it takes conscious practice to unlearn it. Start small. Notice the moments you feel desperate for results. Breathe. Remind yourself that you are already enough, that the more relaxed you are, the more powerful you become, because relaxation is not weakness, it's alignment. The universe doesn't respond to frantic energy, it responds to clarity, gratitude, and calm expectation. As you begin to embody this truth, you'll notice changes both subtle and profound. Opportunities that used to require immense effort will begin to flow naturally. People will respond differently to you. Your creativity will expand. Most importantly, you'll feel lighter, because the constant pressure to chase, prove, and perform will dissolve. You'll realize that wealth was never something outside of you. It was a reflection of your inner state all along. So, the first step toward effortless wealth is simple but transformative. Stop chasing. Stop running after what you want, as if it's somewhere far away. Instead, turn inward. Align your energy, your beliefs, and your emotions with the feeling of already having it. Because attraction begins when the chase ends. And once you stop chasing wealth, you'll finally understand the deeper truth. You were never meant to run after abundance. You were meant to remember that you are the source of it. Chapter 2. The Law of Alignment. If Chapter 1 revealed that chasing money keeps it running from you, this chapter reveals the opposite truth, the secret that makes wealth come to you. The law of alignment is the invisible force behind all effortless success. It is the understanding that you do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. This single principle changes everything, because it shifts your focus from external struggle to internal harmony. Wealth is not something you pursue, it is something you align with, and that alignment begins inside you. To understand this, imagine a radio. When you turn the dial to a certain frequency, you receive the signal that matches it. If the station broadcasts at 99.5 FM, but you're tuned to 88.3, you'll hear only static. The broadcast is still there, constantly transmitting, but you can't receive it until you match the frequency. The same is true for wealth. Abundance, success, and prosperity are always being broadcast by the universe. But if your personal frequency is tuned to fear, scarcity, or self-doubt, you cannot receive the signal. The wealth doesn't disappear, you just can't pick it up. The law of alignment is about tuning your inner state to match the vibration of what you want. So, what does alignment actually look like? It's a state of coherence between your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions. When all parts of you point in the same direction, you become a magnet for your desires. But when you think one thing, feel another, and act from fear, your energy is scattered. You send mixed signals to the universe, and the results you get are inconsistent. Alignment means unity. It's when your words, emotions, and intentions all resonate with abundance. You stop contradicting yourself internally and start broadcasting a clear, powerful frequency that draws wealth naturally toward you. Let's make this real with an example. Imagine someone who constantly says, "I want to be wealthy." They say it with conviction, they work hard, they even visualize it. But deep inside, they hold hidden beliefs, like money is hard to earn. I'm not smart enough, or rich people are greedy. Those inner beliefs conflict with their outer desire. Their conscious mind wants wealth, but their subconscious is rejecting it. As a result, no matter how much effort they apply, something always seems to block their progress. This is misalignment. It's like pressing the gas pedal while the handbrake is still on. To align, you must first uncover those inner contradictions. This requires honesty and self-awareness. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe about money? How do I feel when I think about wealthy people? Do I feel deserving of abundance? You might be surprised by what surfaces. Many people subconsciously associate wealth with stress, greed, or moral compromise. Some believe that being rich means losing peace or relationships. These hidden beliefs create energetic resistance. The universe cannot deliver what you secretly reject. So the first step to alignment is to clean your inner frequency. Release the guilt, the fear, and the old stories that no longer serve you. Once your inner beliefs begin to shift, your emotions will follow. Emotions are powerful messengers of alignment. When you feel joy, gratitude, and peace, you are aligned with abundance. When you feel worry, frustration, and scarcity, you are tuned away from it. This doesn't mean you must feel happy all the time. It means your dominant vibration should reflect trust rather than fear. The law of alignment doesn't require perfection. It requires awareness. When you notice yourself slipping into doubt, simply pause, breathe, and realign. Choose a better thought. Choose the feeling of abundance even before you see the evidence of it. Now, this is where many people get confused. They think alignment means sitting still and waiting for things to happen. But alignment is not about inaction. It's about inspired action. When you are aligned, you still take steps toward your goals, but those steps feel effortless and joyful. You're not forcing results, you're following flow. You'll notice synchronicities, small signs, coincidences, and opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. That's alignment at work. It's the universe responding to your clarity. When your energy is right, everything external begins to organize around it. Alignment also changes your relationship with time. In chase mode, you're always in a hurry. You want things now because you fear they might not come later. In alignment, you trust divine timing. You understand that everything unfolds in perfect order. You stop forcing outcomes and start allowing them. That trust itself is magnetic. It communicates abundance, not lack. Think about it. When you truly know something is coming, you relax. That relaxation is what opens the channel for it to arrive sooner. Another key aspect of alignment is identity. You cannot manifest a reality that conflicts with who you believe yourself to be. If, deep down, you still identify as someone who struggles, who is unlucky, or who just gets by, you'll unconsciously create circumstances that match that identity. To align with wealth, you must become the kind of person who naturally attracts it. That means thinking, speaking, and acting like your wealthy self now, not later. How would that version of you make decisions? How would they carry themselves? How would they think about money, about time, about opportunity? Begin living from that vibration today, and reality will start reflecting it back to you. There's a reason why so many successful people talk about mindset as the foundation of wealth. It's not motivational fluff, it's quantum truth. The outer world mirrors the inner world. When you are calm, clear, and confident inside, your outer life rearranges to match that state. Opportunities find you because your energy announces that you're ready. People trust and support you because you project certainty. Money flows easily because you no longer resist it with fear or guilt. Alignment is not about effort. It's about becoming a living embodiment of the reality you desire. Here's an important shift to remember. Wealth doesn't come to you, it comes through you. You are the channel through which abundance flows into the world. The clearer your channel, the greater the flow. When you're aligned, money doesn't feel like something you're trying to get. It feels like something you're allowing to move. You start to see wealth not as accumulation, but as circulation. You give, receive, invest, and create without fear. This is the energetic dance of abundance, and it only happens when you're in harmony with the flow. Let's bring this to a more personal level. Alignment begins every morning when you wake up, before you check your phone, before you think about your to-do list. Take a moment to center yourself. Ask, what energy do I want to bring into today? If you start your day grounded in gratitude and clarity, you're already tuning your vibration to the frequency of abundance. Throughout the day, pay attention to your emotional cues. If you feel tension while making a decision, pause. Ask yourself, is this choice aligned with trust or fear? Always choose the path that feels expansive, even if it's not the easiest or most logical. The universe rewards energetic truth, not forced logic. There's also a subtle power in gratitude when it comes to alignment. Gratitude immediately raises your vibration because it focuses your attention on what you already have. It says to the universe, I am full, and fullness attracts more. When you're grateful for what exists, you're automatically aligned with the frequency of more. Gratitude closes the gap between wanting and having. It tells your subconscious that you're already abundant, which makes your energy magnetic. Of course, alignment isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous practice. Just as a musician constantly tunes their instrument, you must keep tuning your inner frequency. Some days you'll feel perfectly aligned, and things will flow effortlessly. Other days you might feel off balance, doubtful, or resistant. That's okay. Awareness is the key. Each time you notice you've fallen out of alignment, you can gently return. The goal isn't to avoid contrast, but to navigate it with consciousness. Every moment is an opportunity to realign with abundance. To make this even clearer, let's consider what misalignment feels like versus what alignment feels like. Misalignment feels heavy, tense, confusing, forced. You might notice that when you're out of sync, even small tasks feel like a struggle. Alignment feels light, easy, inspired, and intuitive. Things just seem to work out. People call at the right time. Ideas flow naturally. Your body feels relaxed, not rushed. This contrast helps you recognize when you're in flow and when you're not. When you live by the law of alignment, life begins to feel more like a partnership than a pursuit. You stop trying to control every outcome and instead collaborate with a greater intelligence, the same intelligence that keeps the planets in orbit and the seasons in rhythm. You trust that this force is working with you, not against you. You become a conscious co-creator of your reality instead of a fearful chaser of success. And that's when true power emerges, the kind of power that doesn't shout or push, but magnetizes quietly and steadily. So remember this: wealth doesn't respond to effort alone, it responds to energy. When your energy, emotions, and beliefs align with abundance, money has no choice but to find you. You become like the radio, perfectly tuned to the right station. There's no more static, no more struggle, no more chase. Just clarity, connection, and flow. This is the essence of the law of alignment, the secret law of effortless wealth. And once you learn to live in this state, you'll never chase success again. You'll simply attract it by being who you truly are. Chapter 3: The Power of Detachment. There is a quiet paradox hidden in the journey toward wealth, one that confuses most people because it contradicts everything we are taught about success. It is this: the more desperately you cling to the idea of wealth, the further it moves from you. The more you need money, the harder it becomes to get. Yet, when you release the need, when you stop gripping so tightly to the outcome, opportunities seem to appear out of thin air. This is not coincidence. This is the power of detachment. Detachment is not about carelessness or apathy. It does not mean giving up your dreams, abandoning your goals, or refusing to take action. True detachment is about trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your vision, and trust in the intelligence of life itself. It's the understanding that you can desire something deeply without becoming enslaved by that desire. You can pursue abundance with passion and clarity, but without the fear of not having it. That subtle, energetic shift from need to knowing changes everything. To understand detachment, imagine two people planting seeds in a garden. The first person plants the seeds, but every day they dig them up to check if they're growing. They water them excessively, worry about them constantly, and keep adjusting the soil in panic. The second person plants the seeds, waters them with care, and then lets nature do its work. They trust the process. Who do you think sees the stronger harvest? The one who interferes from fear, or the one who trusts the growth? The same principle applies to money, opportunity, and success. Detachment is the act of planting your intention and allowing it to grow without constant interference from anxiety. When you're attached, your energy becomes tense and constricted. You start overthinking, overplanning, and overworking. Every setback feels personal. Every delay feels like a disaster. You begin to live in a state of worry, which communicates to the universe, "I don't believe this will work out." And because your inner vibration is one of fear, you attract more uncertainty. When you detach, your energy relaxes. You become calm, open, and receptive. You stop chasing outcomes and start trusting timing. That inner calm is magnetic. It draws what you want faster and more smoothly than any amount of frantic effort ever could. We live in a world that glorifies control. We're told that if we're not pushing, managing, and striving, we'll fall behind. But control is an illusion. No matter how much you plan, life will always unfold with its own rhythm. The irony is that the more you try to control outcomes, the less control you actually have. Detachment is not giving up control. It's realizing you never needed it to begin with. When you stop trying to manipulate every variable, you create space for life to surprise you. The opportunities you couldn't plan for appear precisely because you finally stopped blocking them with your obsession. Let's bring this down to something practical. Imagine you're searching for a new source of income. You send out job applications, proposals, or investment pitches. You're doing all the right things, but inside, you feel desperate. Every unanswered email feels like a rejection. Every delay feels like a personal failure. That desperation seeps into your tone, your words, your energy. It's felt by others even if they can't articulate it. The universe mirrors that vibration, and things seem to stall. Now imagine approaching it differently. You still take action. You still send those proposals, but you do so with faith. You think, what's meant for me cannot miss me. If not this, something better is coming. You release attachment to any single outcome. You radiate calm confidence instead of tension. Within days or weeks, an unexpected offer appears, one you didn't see coming. That is detachment in motion. The key to mastering detachment is to shift from dependence to preference. You can prefer something strongly, like wanting more money, a promotion, or a successful business, but you don't depend on it to feel whole. The moment your happiness depends on an outcome, you've given away your power. You've told the universe that your emotional state is conditional. But when you remain centered, no matter what happens, you send out a signal of inner stability. That stability attracts abundance, because the universe always mirrors your state of being. Here's a truth that's both humbling and liberating. You can't force wealth to come on your schedule. You can only align yourself with the energy that allows it to arrive. Detachment is the energetic doorway through which manifestation flows. It's the moment you stop saying, "I need this," and start saying, "I trust this." The first statement comes from fear. The second from faith. The first creates resistance. The second creates flow. Many people misunderstand detachment as a passive state, but in reality, it's deeply active. It's the act of holding your vision firmly while releasing your fear completely. You continue moving toward your goals, but your actions are infused with calm certainty instead of nervous urgency. Think of it like sailing. You set your direction and raise the sail, but you don't control the wind. You can't force it to blow faster. You simply adjust your position, stay steady, and trust that the wind will carry you there in its own time. Detachment is the art of cooperating with life instead of battling it. This law also applies to relationships, opportunities, and ideas. How often have you noticed that when you stop obsessing over something, like a job, a client, or even a person, it suddenly appears or returns? That's because your energy shifts from clutching to allowing. When you stop gripping tightly, you stop creating resistance. The energy can finally move. The universe loves space. It rushes to fill any vacuum created by trust. But when your hands are full of fear and control, there's no room left for abundance to land. There's another layer to detachment: emotional independence. When you detach, you no longer let external circumstances dictate your inner peace. You stop letting your bank balance determine your sense of worth. You stop letting temporary setbacks define your future. You realize that money is not your source. It's a resource. Your true source is infinite. It's life itself. Once you internalize this truth, fear loses its grip. You begin to operate from faith rather than panic. You start expecting good things, not because you're entitled, but because you're aligned. One of the most powerful practices for cultivating detachment is gratitude. Gratitude pulls your attention away from what's missing and places it on what's already present. It reminds you that you are already supported, already provided for. When you feel grateful, you can desire more without feeling needy. You say to the universe, "I love what I have and I welcome what's coming." That is the perfect vibration for creation, content yet open. Gratitude dissolves attachment because it tells life, "I already trust you." Another practice is presence. Attachment lives in the future. It's the mind saying, "I'll be happy when." Detachment lives in the now. When you're fully present, you're not chasing results. You're enjoying the process. You're fully immersed in what you're doing. And paradoxically, that focus brings better results. The most successful people often say they weren't thinking about success while they worked. They were just doing what they loved. Presence is detachment in action. It frees you from the pressure of outcomes and anchors you in the joy of creation itself. Detachment doesn't mean you never feel disappointment. You're human. You'll still want things deeply, and sometimes they won't happen as you expect. But detachment gives you resilience. It lets you move forward without bitterness. You stop seeing delays or detours as failures and start seeing them as redirections. You begin to trust that life is rearranging things in your favor, even when you can't see the full picture. That trust keeps your energy clear, and that clarity keeps wealth flowing. When you master detachment, something profound happens. You stop chasing wealth, and wealth starts chasing you. Opportunities find you, not because you're trying harder, but because you've become energetically available. You've stopped resisting the flow. You're no longer holding the door closed with your fear. Detachment opens that door wide. So remember this: the universe responds to your energy, not your effort. When your energy is relaxed, trusting, and open, you become a natural receiver of abundance. When it's anxious, desperate, and tight, you block it. Detachment is the bridge between wanting and receiving. It's the moment you say, I trust that what's mine will come to me, and I no longer need to chase it. And it will come faster than you expect, smoother than you imagined, and in ways that remind you that wealth was never about control, but about alignment and flow. Detachment is the silence that speaks the loudest, the stillness that moves mountains, and the calm that calls prosperity home. Chapter 4. The Inner Wealth Blueprint. Every person walking this planet has an inner script, a mental and emotional program running quietly beneath the surface of their daily life. It determines what they believe they deserve, how much they are willing to receive, and how they respond to opportunities for abundance. This invisible script is what we call the Inner Wealth Blueprint. It's the map that governs how wealth flows or fails to flow into your life. Most people think money is only about external circumstances, the right job, the right business, the right timing, but all of these are secondary. The real source of your financial reality is internal. You don't earn wealth so much as you allow it. You can work hard, learn all the strategies, and still find yourself stuck in the same financial patterns, because your outer world can never expand beyond the limits of your inner belief system. To understand your wealth blueprint, imagine your subconscious mind as the soil in which all your results grow. Your conscious thoughts, your goals, affirmations, and actions are the seeds. But if the soil is filled with rocks of fear, guilt, and unworthiness, no matter how many seeds you plant, they'll struggle to take root. The blueprint, not the seed, determines the harvest. Where does this blueprint come from? Most of it forms in childhood. We absorb beliefs about money from parents, teachers, and society, long before we can think critically about them. We watch how our family handles finances, and those observations become emotional truths. If you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that, or rich people are greedy, those phrases didn't just pass through your ears. They imprinted your subconscious. Even if consciously you want wealth, those old imprints quietly shape your sense of what's possible. Think about how powerful those early experiences are. Maybe as a child, you watched your parents argue about bills, and a part of you decided that money causes pain. Maybe you saw someone lose everything and decided wealth isn't safe. Or perhaps you noticed that people admired those who struggled nobly, so you subconsciously linked hard work with worthiness and ease with guilt. All of these form the architecture of your financial identity. They become your set point, the level of wealth your subconscious feels comfortable maintaining. That's why some people can earn large sums of money and then lose it quickly. They've exceeded the comfort zone of their inner blueprint. Others seem to always bounce back from loss. They naturally return to their inner financial equilibrium. The subconscious always seeks consistency with its internal programming. Until you change the blueprint, the results will repeat, no matter what you do externally. So how do you rewrite it? The first step is awareness. Begin by observing your emotional reactions to money. How do you feel when you pay bills, when you receive money, when you see others succeed? Those emotional responses are clues to your underlying beliefs. If you feel resentment, guilt, or anxiety around wealth, your subconscious is signaling misalignment. You can't attract what you secretly resent, and you can't hold what you secretly fear. Next, examine the stories you tell yourself about money. Do you say, I'm just not good with money? I'll never get ahead? I have to work twice as hard to earn half as much? These statements may sound harmless, but they are affirmations, repeated commands to your subconscious mind. The mind doesn't distinguish between truth and habit. It simply accepts repetition as reality. Every time you repeat a limiting story, you deepen the groove in your mental pattern. To rewrite your blueprint, you must first interrupt those patterns. When you catch yourself saying something limiting about money, pause, take a breath, then consciously replace it with a statement that aligns with abundance. For example, I'm learning to manage money with ease. Money flows to me through multiple channels. Or I am worthy of prosperity. At first, these statements might feel false. That's because they contradict your old programming. But with consistent repetition, they begin to rewrite the script. Another powerful tool is emotional rehearsal. Your subconscious doesn't respond primarily to words. It responds to feeling. You can speak affirmations all day, but if they're empty of emotion, they won't take root. To truly install new beliefs, you must feel them as real. Imagine the sensations of financial freedom, the peace, the excitement, the gratitude. Close your eyes and visualize yourself living abundantly, paying for things with joy, giving freely, feeling secure. Allow those emotions to fill your body. The more vividly you feel it, the more your subconscious accepts it as truth. This isn't wishful thinking, it's neuroplasticity. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on repeated thoughts and feelings. When you pair empowering beliefs with positive emotion, you literally create new neural pathways. Over time, these pathways become the new default, your new wealth blueprint. What once felt impossible becomes natural. Reprogramming also requires forgiveness. Many people unconsciously block wealth because they carry emotional debt, resentment toward others, or guilt toward themselves. Maybe you judge someone for being rich, or you feel ashamed for past financial mistakes. Those emotions act as static in your energetic field. You cannot receive clearly while holding resentment. Forgiveness clears the channel. Forgive yourself for mismanaging money in the past. Forgive others for having what you didn't. Forgiveness doesn't mean approving of mistakes. It means releasing the emotional charge that keeps you tethered to them. As you release the old, begin installing the new. Build habits that reflect abundance, even in small ways. When you pay a bill, instead of resenting it, say, I'm grateful to have the resources to pay for this. When you receive money, no matter how little, celebrate it. Energy responds to appreciation. Gratitude tells the universe you're ready for more. You can also strengthen your blueprint by surrounding yourself with examples of abundance. Read stories of people who created wealth ethically and joyfully. Spend time with those who think expansively. Energy is contagious. When you immerse yourself in an abundant environment, your subconscious begins to recalibrate. But perhaps the most profound shift comes when you stop seeing wealth as a goal and start seeing it as a reflection. Wealth doesn't make you abundant. You become wealthy because you are already abundant inside. When your inner world is filled with gratitude, creativity, and confidence, your outer world must mirror it. This is not spiritual poetry. It's a law of resonance. The outer world cannot contradict your dominant vibration. Many people chase external wealth, hoping it will fix internal lack. They believe that once they have more, they'll feel secure. But the truth is reversed. Once you feel secure, you begin to have more. The universe mirrors emotion, not effort. When your inner wealth blueprint vibrates with peace, generosity, and faith, money becomes an effortless expression of that state. Let's look at how this plays out practically. Imagine two people starting businesses. The first operates from fear. They constantly worry about failure, doubt their value, and undercharge for their work. Their energy feels heavy, and potential clients sense it. The second operates from inner abundance. They trust their worth, enjoy the process, and focus on service. Their energy feels open, and opportunities naturally flow. The difference isn't strategy, it's vibration. Both take action, but one is aligned with lack, the other with wealth. The results reflect the blueprint, not the effort. As you deepen your awareness, you'll notice that wealth is not just about money, it's about energy flow in every area of life. A person with a strong inner wealth blueprint experiences richness in health, relationships, and creativity. They give and receive love easily. They feel supported by life itself. They understand that abundance is a state of being, not a bank balance. Rewriting your blueprint is not a one-time act. It's a continuous process of awareness, correction, and expansion. Each time you face a financial challenge, instead of reacting with fear, use it as an opportunity to test your new pattern. Ask yourself, what would the abundant version of me believe about this situation? Then act from that belief. Over time, those small choices compound into a completely new reality. Remember, the inner always precedes the outer. Before a tree bears fruit, it must first grow invisible roots. Before wealth appears in your bank account, it must first exist in your mind and emotions. The blueprint shapes the structure, and the structure determines the outcome. So begin today, not by trying to earn more, but by expanding your capacity to receive more. Clear the old patterns of fear and scarcity. Install new patterns of gratitude, trust, and self-worth. The moment your inner blueprint aligns with abundance, the external world must follow. It cannot resist the law of resonance. Your outer wealth will always rise or fall to meet the level of your inner wealth consciousness. Change that inner pattern, and you'll never have to chase money again. It will flow to you naturally, as a reflection of who you have become. Chapter 5. The flow of giving and receiving. If there is one principle that defines the rhythm of abundance, it is flow. Everything in life moves in cycles, breathing in and out, tides rising and falling, the heart expanding and contracting. Wealth follows this same natural law. It is not static, it circulates. When you understand and live by this truth, money stops being a source of stress and becomes an effortless expression of energy. But when the flow is blocked by fear, guilt, or over-control, wealth stagnates. This chapter is about reawakening that sacred balance between giving and receiving, the heartbeat of effortless prosperity. Money, at its core, is energy in motion. It's not just paper, numbers, or metal. It's a symbol of value, trust, and exchange. It represents appreciation made tangible. When you pay for something, you are essentially saying, "I value this." When someone pays you, they are saying the same. The transaction is a transfer of appreciation, energy moving through agreement. The more freely you allow that energy to circulate, the more it grows. When you hoard it out of fear, or give it away from guilt, the energy becomes distorted. The universe mirrors your flow. Many people misunderstand the principle of giving. They think giving means depleting themselves, that in order for others to win, they must lose. But genuine giving does not come from emptiness. It comes from overflow. You can only give what you already possess. When you give from fullness, out of joy, gratitude, or genuine service, you expand your capacity to receive. The act of giving sends a clear message to the universe. I am abundant. I have more than enough to share. That vibration attracts more to you. The opposite is also true. When you withhold out of fear, when you clutch your resources tightly because you're afraid of losing them, you're telling the universe, "I don't believe there's enough." And that belief creates scarcity in your experience. Life responds not to what you say, but to the energy behind your actions. Two people can perform the same act, donating money, helping a friend, investing time. But if one gives from fear and the other from love, the outcomes will be completely different. The flow of giving and receiving is not limited to money. It applies to everything: love, kindness, time, ideas, opportunities. The same energetic rule applies: what you withhold withers, what you circulate expands. Imagine a pond. If water flows in but never out, it becomes stagnant. If it only flows out and is never replenished, it dries up. But when water flows freely in both directions, the pond stays fresh and alive. Money works the same way. Giving keeps it circulating. Receiving keeps it replenished. Both are sacred acts. Yet many people struggle with one side of this equation. Some are natural givers, but poor receivers. They give generously, but feel uncomfortable when others give to them. They downplay compliments, reject help, or feel guilty accepting money. Deep down, they equate receiving with selfishness. But refusing to receive blocks the flow just as much as refusing to give. The universe can only fill an open hand, not a closed one. To maintain balance, you must honor both sides of the current. Receiving is not passive, it's an active expression of worthiness. It's saying, I am open to the gifts of life, and I believe I deserve them. When you receive with grace and gratitude, you affirm abundance for yourself and others. You give the giver the joy of completing the cycle. Just as giving without receiving disrupts the flow, receiving without gratitude drains it. Both sides depend on awareness. The reason many struggle to receive is rooted in conditioning. From a young age, we're taught to associate virtue with sacrifice. It's better to give than to receive. We're told, while the sentiment is noble, it's incomplete. Giving and receiving are not opposites. They are two halves of the same movement. If everyone only gave and no one received, the flow would die. The truth is, it's better to give and receive in harmony. That is the essence of abundance. Let's explore how this principle applies practically. Suppose you're running a business. If you constantly undercharge for your work because you feel guilty asking for what you're worth, you disrupt the flow. You're giving more than you allow yourself to receive, which creates imbalance. Eventually, resentment or burnout follows. But when you charge fairly and deliver with genuine value, the energy is clean. The exchange feels good for both sides. Your clients sense integrity and abundance in you, and more opportunities arise naturally. The same is true for generosity. Giving to others is not about losing. It's about aligning with flow, but conscious giving requires wisdom. If you give from fear, obligation, or the need to prove yourself, the act drains you. True giving comes from a place of joy and clarity. It's not about quantity, it's about intention. $1 given with love carries more power than 1,000 given with guilt. The energy behind the act determines the outcome. Here's a deeper truth. You cannot outgive the universe. When you give authentically, what you release multiplies. It may not return in the same form, but it always returns through new opportunities, relationships, or moments of grace. Generosity activates trust, and trust activates abundance. It's a law as reliable as gravity. When you stop fearing loss, you prove to the universe that you believe in infinite supply, and infinite supply responds. But giving isn't only about material wealth. Sometimes the most powerful gift is attention, encouragement, or kindness. When you uplift others, you increase the vibration of abundance around you, and that frequency inevitably reflects back. Life always matches your energy. If you send out scarcity, scarcity returns. If you send out generosity, generosity finds you. The flow never lies. Now let's look at the deeper psychology behind why many people resist this balance. Givers often fear rejection or disapproval if they stop overgiving. Receivers often fear judgment for wanting more. Both fears come from the same illusion that love and value are limited. But love, like wealth, is infinite. You are not taking from someone by receiving. You are participating in the universal rhythm of exchange. Consider how nature operates. Trees don't hoard oxygen. Rivers don't store water for themselves. The The sun doesn't ration its light. Everything gives freely, because it knows giving and receiving are one and the same act. The tree gives oxygen and receives carbon dioxide. The ocean gives rain and receives rivers. The sun gives warmth and receives life in return. The entire natural world is an expression of circulation. Only humans, guided by fear and scarcity thinking, disrupt the flow. The path to effortless wealth is the return to natural rhythm, to trust that when you give, you will receive, and when you receive, it's safe to give again. This trust dissolves the anxiety that drives overworking and hoarding. It creates peace in your financial life. You no longer see others as competitors, but as collaborators in the great current of abundance. To align with this flow, begin practicing conscious giving and conscious receiving. Each time you give money, time, or kindness, pause and feel the joy of circulation. Don't give to get, give to grow. Each time you receive an opportunity, a compliment, or payment, pause and feel gratitude. Let yourself receive fully, without guilt. Say, I accept this gift with love, and I trust the flow to continue. This simple awareness begins to rewire your wealth consciousness. Another way to strengthen this flow is through generosity rituals. Set aside a portion of your income, not as an obligation, but as an act of abundance. Give it to something that uplifts others or expands joy. The amount doesn't matter. What matters is the energy. When you give consistently, you tell your subconscious, I always have enough to share. That belief becomes self-fulfilling. The more you circulate, the more the universe circulates back. And when it does, receive it openly. Don't downplay your blessings or deflect compliments. When someone says, you did a great job, say, thank you, I appreciate that. When money comes in, don't immediately dismiss it as luck. Acknowledge it as the natural return of the energy you've sent out. Gratitude locks in the frequency of abundance. The flow of giving and receiving also applies to your inner world. You must give yourself permission to rest, to enjoy, to dream. Constant output without input leads to burnout. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Self-care is not indulgence. It's part of the circulation of energy. When you nourish yourself, you expand your capacity to give more authentically. Sometimes, life forces us to experience imbalance to teach us this principle. You might go through a phase where you give endlessly but feel drained, or one where you take without gratitude and feel disconnected. Both experiences are reminders that balance is sacred. Whenever you feel scarcity or exhaustion, ask, where have I blocked the flow? Am I refusing to receive or resisting to give? The answer will show you where to realign. Ultimately, wealth is not measured by what you accumulate, but by how freely energy moves through you. The wealthiest people are not those who have the most, but those who trust the flow the most. They give without fear and receive without guilt. They know that abundance is infinite, and that every act of generosity enriches the giver as much as the receiver. When you live in alignment with this truth, money stops being something you chase or guard. It becomes something you dance with. It enters and exits your life like the tide, always returning, always replenishing. You become part of a larger rhythm, a symphony of exchange that connects you to everything around you. And in that rhythm, there is peace. So begin today. Let go of the fear of running out. Let go of the guilt of receiving. Trust the intelligence of the flow. Give with love, receive with gratitude, and let energy move through you like breath, effortless, endless, alive. This is the secret of circulation. This is the law that transforms money from a source of stress into a current of grace. When you master the flow of giving and receiving, you step fully into the stream of effortless wealth, and it will carry you farther than all the striving in the world ever could. Chapter 6. The stillness principle. In a world that worships motion, stillness is often misunderstood. We are taught that success belongs to those who are always busy, always moving, always hustling, always chasing. We measure our worth by how much we do, how full our schedules are, how fast we move from one goal to the next. Yet beneath all this noise, life itself whispers a deeper truth. Real power doesn't come from endless activity. It comes from alignment, awareness, and stillness. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of centered awareness. It's the calm eye in the storm, the quiet space between thoughts, the inner silence where clarity is born. The stillness principle is the understanding that when your mind quiets, your natural state of abundance begins to emerge. Wealth, inspiration, and opportunity are not found through constant effort. They are received through stillness. Think of water. When it's turbulent, it can't reflect the light clearly, but when it becomes still, it mirrors the sky perfectly. The same is true for your mind. When it's restless, cluttered with fear, doubt, and overthinking, it distorts your perception of reality. You can't see the opportunities that already surround you, but when you become still, your inner waters calm, and life reflects its truth with stunning clarity. In that state, guidance becomes obvious, ideas flow, and the right actions reveal themselves without force. The greatest creators, leaders, and visionaries throughout history understood this principle. Whether they knew it consciously or not, their breakthroughs didn't come from frantic effort. They came from moments of still awareness. Isaac Newton's laws of gravity came not while he was striving, but while he was sitting quietly beneath a tree. Archimedes' eureka moment arrived, not in a laboratory, but while relaxing in a bath. In the silence between activity, inspiration is born. That silence is not empty. It is full of intelligence. The universe itself operates in rhythms of stillness and motion, day and night, inhale and exhale, growth and rest. Nature never hurries, yet everything is accomplished. Trees don't force themselves to grow. They simply align with the conditions that allow growth. Birds don't strive to sing. They sing because it is their nature. The sun doesn't chase the dawn. It rises effortlessly. When you embody stillness, you align with the same intelligence that guides all creation. So what exactly does stillness have to do with wealth? Everything. Because wealth is not just a number. It's a state of flow, and flow cannot exist without space. Most people try to fill every moment with doing, planning, and controlling. But that constant movement blocks intuition. It blocks the inner guidance that could lead you straight to the next opportunity. When you pause and become still, you tune in to the quiet signal beneath the noise, the gentle nudge that says, "This is the right path." Stillness connects you to the source of all creativity. Every idea, every innovation, every inspired action begins in silence. Yet silence is the one thing many people fear. They fill it with distractions, social media, conversations, endless plans, because silence makes them face themselves. But in avoiding silence, they also avoid clarity. Without clarity, they wander in circles, mistaking busyness for progress. To live by the stillness principle is to reverse that pattern. It means intentionally creating space for silence each day. It means pausing before reacting, breathing before deciding, listening before acting. Stillness doesn't require hours of meditation in a cave. It requires awareness in the present moment. It's the practice of being fully here, fully alive, fully connected to what is unfolding now. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a compass. If you're constantly shaking it, running from thought to thought, it can't point north. But when you stop, even briefly, it settles and the needle aligns. That alignment is your intuition. your inner guidance system. In stillness, you reconnect with it. It tells you what to do, when to act, and when to wait. It never shouts, it whispers, and only in silence can you hear it. Many people think stillness means doing nothing, but the truth is that stillness makes your actions far more powerful. When your actions arise from stillness, they carry precision and purpose. They are not scattered by anxiety or clouded by doubt. One moment of action born from inner stillness can create more results than 1,000 moments of frantic effort. This is what the ancient philosophers meant when they said, "In stillness, all things are done." Let's make this practical. When you face a financial decision, whether it's a new opportunity, an investment, or a risk, don't rush to decide from fear or excitement. Step back, breathe. Create stillness inside yourself first. Ask what feels aligned, then listen, not with your mind, but with your body. Your inner being always knows the truth. The answer will come as a sense of peace or expansion. That feeling is your compass. When you practice this regularly, you begin to trust it. You stop second-guessing yourself. You realize that the right choices don't come from overthinking, they come from awareness. You start noticing coincidences, synchronicities, and moments of perfect timing. These are not accidents. They are the universe's way of responding to your alignment. Stillness makes you receptive to this guidance. The stillness principle also teaches that rest is productive. We have been conditioned to feel guilty for resting, as if stillness is laziness. But rest is not the opposite of progress. It is part of it. Just as fields must lie fallow before a new crop grows, the mind must rest to access its next level of creativity. When you rest consciously, without guilt, you allow energy to restore, ideas to incubate, and clarity to return. When you neglect rest, you start acting from depletion. You work harder but achieve less. You begin to chase results instead of attracting them. Exhaustion disconnects you from flow, but when you honor stillness, you move from inspiration, not obligation. You stop forcing results and start allowing them. Life becomes smoother, and effort begins to feel effortless. Stillness is also the cure for fear. Fear cannot survive in the present moment. It lives in the imagination, in thoughts about what could go wrong. When you bring your attention fully to now, fear dissolves. You realize that in this moment you have everything you need. You can breathe, you can choose, you can act or rest. From that space, abundance naturally unfolds, because abundance can only exist where there is peace. Try this simple practice. Sit quietly for a few minutes each day, with no goal other than awareness. Notice your breath, the sensations in your body, the sounds around you. When thoughts arise, and don't chase them. Let them pass like clouds across the sky. Slowly the noise inside begins to quiet, and something beautiful emerges. Still presence. In that presence, ideas surface without effort. Solutions appear without struggle, and energy begins to flow freely again. Stillness is also about detachment from time. We live enslaved to clocks, calendars, and deadlines, believing that success is a race, but in truth, time expands and contracts with your state of being. When you're stressed, time feels scarce. When you're peaceful, time feels abundant. In stillness, you enter timelessness. You act from inspiration rather than urgency, and everything aligns perfectly. This is how great artists, athletes, and innovators enter the flow state. They lose track of time because they are fully absorbed in the moment. That absorption is stillness in motion. As you cultivate stillness, you will notice a shift in how you relate to wealth. You no longer feel compelled to chase opportunities. They begin to approach you. You no longer make decisions from fear of loss. You act from trust in timing. Money becomes less of a pursuit and more of a natural expression of your energy. The quieter you become inside, the louder the world responds. The stillness principle doesn't mean you withdraw from life. It means you participate from awareness. You still take action, build, create, and engage with the world, but you do it from a place of inner calm. Your presence becomes your greatest asset. People feel peace around you. Opportunities flow toward you because you radiate certainty. You're no longer broadcasting the frantic energy of need, but the grounded vibration of sufficiency. Here's the great irony. The more still you are inside, the faster things manifest outside, because stillness is not stagnation, it's alignment. When you stop resisting, life can move through you effortlessly. You become like a channel, clear, open, and powerful. In this state, you realize that wealth was never something you had to pursue. It was always flowing toward you, waiting for you to be still enough to receive it. So how do you live this principle daily? It begins with simple awareness. Throughout your day, pause often. Take a breath before answering a call, before sending an email, before making a decision. Ask yourself, am I acting from fear or from presence? That question alone can shift your energy instantly. If you're rushing, slow down. If you're worrying, breathe. Stillness is not about inaction. It's about conscious action. You can also bring stillness into ordinary moments. While walking, eating, or working, be fully there. Listen deeply. Notice how your energy changes when you stop multitasking and simply be. This mindfulness is the bridge between chaos and peace. Over time, it becomes your default way of living. When stillness becomes your foundation, you begin to see wealth everywhere, not just in your bank account, but in your relationships, creativity, and sense of purpose. You notice beauty in simplicity. You become grateful for what is while remaining open to what's coming. Gratitude deepens stillness, and stillness multiplies gratitude. The two feed each other endlessly. Eventually, stillness reveals a final truth. You never had to chase abundance, because you are abundance. Wealth is not something separate from you. It is an expression of the same consciousness that beats your heart and breathes your lungs. When you rest in that awareness, you realize that you've never lacked anything. Stillness shows you that everything you seek is already within you. That is the essence of the stillness principle. To know that you do not create abundance through force, but allow it through peace. In the quiet space of awareness, all things flow to you in perfect time. The more you listen, the less you need to chase. The more you rest, the more you receive. And the more still you become, the louder the voice of life itself speaks through you, guiding you toward effortless wealth, one calm breath at a time. Chapter 7. Living in the Field of Effortless Wealth. By now you've discovered that wealth is not a chase, not a prize, not even a destination. It is a state of alignment, trust, and energetic flow. You've learned that your beliefs shape your experience, that detachment invites abundance, and that stillness connects you with the deepest current of life. But there's a higher stage beyond understanding these principles. It's living them. This chapter is about embodying the truth of effortless wealth so completely that it becomes your natural way of being. To live in the field of effortless wealth is to exist in harmony with the universe's intelligence. You no longer see yourself as separate from the flow of abundance. You recognize that you are the flow. Life and wealth are not happening to you. They are expressing through you. This realization transforms everything. Money stops being something you chase or manage. It becomes a byproduct of your energy. Opportunities arise, not because you force them, but because you're aligned with them. Every action, decision, and interaction carries the vibration of ease, clarity, and confidence. Think of a musician deeply immersed in their art. When they are in flow, they're not thinking about each note. not worrying about the next movement. They are simply present, expressing, connected. The music plays through them. This is what it means to live in the field of effortless wealth. You move through life guided by intuition instead of fear, faith instead of doubt, flow instead of struggle. You're no longer trying to attract abundance. You are radiating it. Let's begin by understanding what this field actually is. The field is not a metaphor. It's a literal energetic reality. Quantum physics tells us that everything in existence, matter, energy, thought, emotion, is part of a unified field of vibration. Within that field, frequencies that match resonate and amplify each other. When your vibration aligns with abundance, gratitude, peace, love, confidence, you draw experiences that match those frequencies. Living in the field of effortless wealth means maintaining that alignment consistently, regardless of external circumstances. This doesn't mean life becomes perfect or challenge-free. Challenges will still come, but your relationship with them changes completely. Instead of seeing obstacles as threats, you see them as opportunities for refinement. When a delay or difficulty arises, you no longer panic or contract. You pause, breathe, and trust. You remind yourself, this too is part of the flow. That trust keeps your energy open, which allows solutions to emerge effortlessly. The difference between struggle and flow is not the absence of obstacles. It's the presence of awareness. The first step in living in the field is to shift from doing abundance to being abundance. Many people try to use spiritual laws like tools, affirmations, visualizations, and manifestations as if they were mechanical tricks to manipulate reality. But manipulation implies separation. You can't manipulate what you are. True abundance doesn't come from trying to control reality. It comes from realizing that you are reality expressing itself as abundance. When you live from that awareness, effort dissolves into flow. Being abundance means embodying its qualities moment by moment. Abundance feels generous, calm, creative, and grateful. When you think, speak, and act from those feelings, you synchronize with the field. Every word you say carries power. Every gesture communicates energy. When your inner state matches your outer intentions, the universe responds immediately. It's as if you've tuned your entire being to the frequency of wealth, and everything around you begins to rearrange in harmony with that vibration. Let's look at how this manifests in daily life. Imagine waking up in the morning and starting your day not with anxiety about what needs to be done, but with appreciation for what already is. Before checking messages or planning tasks, you pause for a few moments and connect with gratitude. You feel the energy of enoughness, the simple truth that life is already supporting you. From that state, your actions throughout the day become lighter. Instead of rushing through work, you move with presence. Instead of reacting to stress, you respond with clarity. You make decisions not from fear of loss, but from awareness of value. That one shift, starting your day from abundance instead of scarcity, changes everything you touch. Living in the field of effortless wealth also means releasing the need to prove yourself. Most of the world is trapped in a cycle of validation, trying to earn worth through achievement, recognition, or possessions. But true wealth begins when you realize that your value is not dependent on anything external. You were born valuable. Your worth is intrinsic. When you truly know this, you stop chasing approval. And ironically, that's when the world begins to recognize you naturally. The energy of authenticity is magnetic. People, opportunities, and resources are drawn to those who are rooted in self-worth. Another key to living in the field is presence. Effortless wealth does not exist in the future. It exists in the now. When your attention is scattered between regrets of the past and worries about the future, your energy becomes fragmented. But when you bring your full awareness to this moment, you access power. In presence, Ideas come effortlessly, intuition guides you clearly, and your energy becomes strong and attractive. Presence is the point where abundance enters reality. It's the portal between thought and manifestation. You can strengthen this presence through simple practices. Throughout the day, pause often and check in with yourself. Ask, am I in alignment right now? Am I acting from love or fear? This small awareness redirects your energy immediately. If you notice tension, slow down. Take a few conscious breaths. Feel your feet on the ground. Bring yourself back to the now. Remember, you don't attract what you wish for, you attract what you are right now. The field of effortless wealth is also the field of service. True abundance is never selfish, because it understands that giving and receiving are one. When you live in the field, you naturally seek to uplift others. You no longer see others' success as a threat. It becomes a celebration, because their abundance expands the collective field that you're part of. You help, not from obligation, but from joy. You create, not to compete, but to contribute. And in that contribution, life supports you exponentially. The more value you bring to others from a genuine place of alignment, the more abundance flows back to you. One of the most profound shifts that happens when you live in this state is the disappearance of fear. Fear loses its grip because you no longer see the world as scarce. You realize that the universe is infinite, that opportunities are endless, and that life is fundamentally on your side. Even when things seem uncertain, you trust the process. This trust allows you to take bold actions without attachment. You become adventurous with life. You experiment, create, explore, because you know that everything that happens, whether it looks like success or failure, is guiding you toward your highest alignment. Living in the field of effortless wealth also transforms your relationship with time. You stop rushing because you realize that you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. When you operate from presence, you see that every delay, every detour, every unexpected twist is purposeful. Time bends for those who are aligned. What used to take years to achieve can happen in months, or even moments, because your energy no longer resists the flow. You're not swimming upstream anymore. You're gliding with the current. To live in this field, you must also master emotional neutrality. That doesn't mean you stop feeling, it means you stop being controlled by emotions. You can experience joy, excitement, sadness, or disappointment without losing your center. When something wonderful happens, you celebrate it, but don't cling to it. When something challenging happens, you learn from it, but don't collapse into it. This emotional balance keeps your frequency steady, and steady frequencies attract steady abundance. The universe rewards consistency of energy more than intensity of effort. Another aspect of this field is embodiment. You can't think your way into abundance. You must embody it. This means carrying yourself with confidence, speaking with intention, and treating every action as sacred. When you buy something, do it with gratitude. When you work, do it with joy. When you rest, do it with peace. Every movement becomes an expression of wealth consciousness. Abundance is not a destination you visit, it's a vibration you live. At this level of consciousness, wealth stops being personal. It becomes universal. You begin to see that your prosperity uplifts others. Every time you grow, share, or give, you expand the collective field of abundance on Earth. Your wealth contributes to the evolution of consciousness itself. You are no longer a consumer of energy. You are a generator of it. That's the highest form of wealth. To become a conduit through which life expresses its infinite generosity. So how do you sustain this state? Through daily awareness, gratitude, and surrender. Each morning, set the tone by affirming, I live in the field of effortless wealth. I am aligned with abundance, guided by intuition, and supported by life. Feel those words. Don't just say them, embody them. Throughout the day, whenever you feel resistance, come back to that truth. Remember, effortlessness is not about doing nothing. It's about doing from the right energy. At night, reflect on your day. Notice the synchronicities, the small miracles, the moments when life seemed to orchestrate things perfectly. Acknowledge them with gratitude. Gratitude is the anchor that keeps you rooted in the field. It reinforces the awareness that life is always giving to you, always conspiring in your favor. Over time, this way of being becomes effortless. You no longer need to remind yourself to trust. It becomes natural. You no longer need to visualize abundance. It simply surrounds you. You no longer chase success. It finds you. You live in harmony with the laws of energy, the laws of giving, and the laws of stillness. You realize that wealth is not about accumulation. It's about expression. The more you express your authentic self, the more the universe expands through you. Living in the field of effortless wealth is ultimately about freedom. The freedom to create without fear, to receive without guilt, to rest without worry, and to give without limitation. It's the freedom to be your true self, unapologetically abundant, deeply peaceful, infinitely supported. And that's the final revelation. You were never outside the field. You were never lacking anything. You were simply unaware of the truth that has always been here. That abundance is your natural state. When you finally stop chasing and start being, the illusion of scarcity dissolves. You see that wealth has been flowing all along through the sunlight, the air, the love, the ideas, the connections, and the endless opportunities that surround you. To live in the field of effortless wealth is to live in constant communion with life itself. You no longer fear the future because you are one with the source of all futures. You no longer grasp for control because you trust the perfection of each moment. You wake up each day with gratitude, move through the world with grace, and rest each night in peace, knowing that the current of abundance carries you effortlessly toward everything meant for you. This is not a dream. It is your birthright. This is not magic. It is alignment. This is the secret law of effortless wealth, living not as a seeker of abundance, but as a living embodiment of it. When you realize this truth, wealth ceases to be something you pursue. It becomes something you are. At the end of this journey, it all comes full circle. What began as a search for wealth outside of you ends in the realization that the true source was within you all along. The chase, the struggle, the striving, all of it was only a shadow cast by forgetting who you really are. You are not a beggar of abundance. You are its birthplace. You are not meant to hunt for prosperity in the world. You are meant to radiate it from your being. Every law you've learned, the law of detachment, the law of flow, the law of stillness, is really a reflection of one eternal truth. Life is effortless when you are aligned with it. The universe was never testing you. It was always responding to you. Every delay, every detour, every closed door was not rejection, but redirection, guiding you back to your own center, back to the awareness that you and abundance are not two things, but one. The mind will try to complicate this truth. It will tell you to keep striving, to keep searching for something more, but the heart knows better. The heart understands that abundance is not something you reach, it's something you allow. It's the quiet, knowing that even in stillness, everything is already moving for your highest good. Effortless wealth is not laziness or passivity. It's supreme trust. It's acting when guided and resting when called to rest. It's giving freely, receiving gracefully, and living each moment with presence. It's choosing to believe that life is on your side, even when appearances suggest otherwise, because it always is. As you close this book, remember this: the work is not to seek abundance, but to remember it, To wake each day in gratitude for the wealth already surrounding you, the ideas, the relationships, the beauty, the breath. From that gratitude, creation becomes natural. Opportunities appear not because you chase them, but because your energy calls them home. You are no longer the one running after wealth. You are the field through which wealth flows. You are the calm in the storm, the center of the current, the consciousness that creates worlds. So stop chasing, breathe, be still, trust. The moment you return to that state of effortless being, everything you once sought begins to seek you. This is the secret law. This is the freedom you were born to live. This is effortless wealth.